This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
And I'm Heather Branch, here with Brandon, asking for his insight on ways you can be working now to better prepare for your financial future. You can start your conversation with Brandon. Visit us at bowenwealth.com to get started. We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there. Or again, it's bowenwealth.com. Thinking about folks, again, coming into your office and where they are with their money. The goal, right? You always hear the $1 million goal. A lot of people, you got to get that $1 million nest egg and you're good for retirement. That's a goal for a lot of people. And a new study from Northwestern Mutual was showing that for those who have $1 million or more of investable assets, 84% of those folks do have a long-term financial plan that factors in things like up and down economic cycles. However, when you go below the $1 million mark, for folks that have saved less than $1 million, that then drops to 50% of those who had those kinds of financial plan, and it continues to go down to the national average of 37%. Here's the thing. You flip it around, though, on the consumer, on the saver. A lot of people do say, I want to invest like a millionaire. You do the whole thing where you act like the thing that you want to be. Still, many of these people don't plan like millionaires. So here's what I want to do, Brendan. I want you to speak to somebody listening right now who has under $1 million saved for retirement and also does not have a plan for their money. What would you say to that person?
Yeah, okay, so you want to act like, what you want to become.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Hang out with those people, right? Because it can rub off on you. Their decisions, yes. And so in that study, I got a little chuckle, of course. It said 53% of wealthy people consider their advisor to be their most trusted source of financial advice. Okay,
this is the people that have over $1 million?
Yes.
Okay, so over half of them say that their financial advisor is their most trusted source of financial. Okay.
But then it said their spouses or partners ranked 11th.
Ouch.
11% think that. I was like, oh boy.
Okay.
So there's some issues there.
Got it.
But anyway, yes. So yes, that's what millionaires do. And you might think, well, they got money. Of course they're going to want an advisor and a plan. But I would argue that you've saved as best yes, we all have regret and we all wish we started sooner.
Sure. And
wish we had more. And comparison is the thief of joy. I've heard before. So don't compare. Don't worry about what other people have. Let's worry about what you have. Okay. Because if you have under $1 million, it is very critical. Okay. For you to listen up and get some help here, because you totally could run out of money. Okay. If just a certain few things happen. Okay. Because there's just no margin for error. When we have a market crash, while at the same time you're requiring an income drawdown. Okay.
Yeah.
There's just there's no room for error there and a misstep. Okay.
Yep.
Because what we're going to see is your expenses most likely will be increasing throughout retirement because of inflation and cost of living, things like that, right? So stuff you're going to need to buy your standard of living, your utilities,
gasoline,
all this stuff.
Groceries.
Gasoline, yes. All that's going to be continuing to increase while your portfolio is decreasing, most likely. Okay?
Yep.
Envision that, where the income need is getting bigger and bigger while the bucket you pull from is getting smaller and smaller. Okay?
Yep.
So this, let me tell you about my most recent new addition to the family here at Bowen Wealth. And so this, a new client, she came in, she's 62 years old, divorced, and she has, we looked at her plan, she opened it up for me, and she's got Social Security and 750 of investable assets.
Okay.
750,000. Okay.
Got it.
So think about that, right? You listening, how much would you spend? If you were me and you were sitting down with her, right? I mean, how much would you advise that someone spend each month? How many vacations should she feel comfortable taking? Right. And you're healthy. She's healthy. Okay.
Right. So she's looking at maybe 30 years of retirement, if not longer.
She's just turned 60, low 60, young 60. Right.
Yeah.
So, yes, she could make it into 90s. We've got a plan on that. Right. So she's healthy. She wants to travel. She said, Brandon, I would love to do about 3 months at a time in Europe.
Wow.
Because she's single. She's like, hey,
let's go.
Why not? This would be fun. This would be great. I'll get an Airbnb. I can try to do it, as cost efficiently as possible, but that's what I want to do.
Okay.
I love living abroad. She's lived abroad before and things like that. Okay. So, so those were my rules. Okay. Those were the wishes.
Okay.
And so what I did, we sat down and we we went through my retirement game plan. Okay.
Okay.
And I was able to create for her $75,000 of annual income that she could have confidence in.
Is that after tax?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. After tax, $75,000.
Okay.
She was blown away. Okay. I mean, because she thought she actually thought she couldn't do those things that she had always dreamed of. That she told me. She was like, this is what I want to do, but I know I don't know. I might not be able to do that. That's why I'm here.
Right.
And she was just like, if there's any hope, right? If there's any way that it can happen, I want to know. I want someone to sit down here and work this plan.
Yeah.
And I will never forget what happened next. And so I'm sitting there. I'm going to always remember this. So I'm working through my plan, the retirement game plan. We're on the last page here.
Yeah.
And it shows the older you get, Social Security coming in with little COLAs, the income streams we set up, and then it's got a net number, expenses right beside it. So then it just shows you, okay, each month, are we positive? Are we in the black or are we in the red?
Right.
And it shows the total assets on the far right. And so we're walking through this thing and I look over to her and she's, being real quiet.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, what's
happening? Is this not going well?
Right.
Is she upset? Yeah.
I asked her, how does this look? And she wouldn't answer me. And that's because she was getting emotional.
Oh.
Yeah. And she was like, Brandon, nobody has ever cared this much about me and my goals. Oh. No one's ever sat down, like when I was married, everyone talked to him. Right. And now that I'm on my own here, I've never sat down and had someone. I mean, when I did talk to my current advisor, they just said, oh, you'll be fine. It's going to be okay. Nothing is detailed like this that gives someone that gave her the permission to enjoy her money. Right. And that is exactly why I do what I do. Right. That is exactly why I do this radio show. It's why we, work with people here in Charleston and of course abroad to help them make sense of all that hard work.
Yeah.
That you've done, you listening, right? You've done the hard work. Most likely you've got a pile of cash and it probably just feels like there's no plan going on here, right? We've been pursuing growth and I feel like it's a bit too volatile and I just don't know how much income to pull. I don't want to pull out too little or too much.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe you're only getting that response of like, oh, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I am sure there are people listening to us on the radio right now that have 100% heard that. Oh, you'll be fine. It's fine. It's show me how.
Right. And not only show me, but let's plan pessimistically.
Yeah.
We can't just go, oh, well, if you average 8% per year and, and all these things like, well, I mean, but what about when the markets crash?
That's right.
Right. So you've got to have a very thoughtful plan in place for, okay, what dollars are we going to be pulling for income?
Yeah.
Right. Wherever we're going to be pulling from income, think about it. That money needs to have some guardrails up on it.
Right.
It can't swing 30, 40, 50% in the next crash.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that everybody knows that. And if you feel like your money's just in some of these mutual funds and you're in the S&P 500, well, that we're way past due for another 2008 like crash.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. That's what my retirement game plan does. It calls a timeout. We freeze time and we take a look at your money. Okay. We take a look at, okay, how would we build this thing back properly for retirement? No longer pursuing growth, but let's pursue income, tax efficient income for you and for your spouse to enjoy the best years of your life. So if this sounds like you and that you need this work done, you've given your current person, or maybe you've just never had it done. You've given them opportunity, but it's still not what that you need. This is where we'll begin. We'll start with the first appointment just to get to know each other a little bit. And then you can bring in your statements and I'll go to work. I'll put my team to work and we'll start building this plan as a nice second opinion. We call this our retirement game plan. So if you're 60 or above and have saved $500,000 or more, and remember, if you're under $1 million, it's critical.
Yeah.
But we're going to sit down and we're going to build this plan for you so that you can have potentially that confidence that you deserve. So if this sounds like you and you know that you need to have this work done on your portfolio, head on over to bowenwealth.com and click on the contact tab so we can begin that conversation with you right now.
We also have links posted in the show notes. If that's more convenient, you can just click there, or again, find us anytime at bowenwealth.com.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.